Hi, this is Mike Kaler, Customer Service Manager for CE Labs. In today's tech tip, we're going to be discussing setting up a player for CCM. In other words, we'll be converting the player from using QuickSign over to our Enterprise CCM solution. Okay, let's get started. The first thing we're going to want to do is open QuickSign Pro Designer 7X. Once we have this open, then we'll want to load the CE Labs player application to the player, which will then allow the player to call into CCM and pick up its content from the server. When we install this application, you should never load content from QuickSign Pro Designer. It will load, but as soon as the player calls into the server will overwrite that content and it'll be playing what's playing from the server and not from what you loaded from QuickSign Pro Designer. When your CCM Enterprise account has been created on the server, someone from CE Labs will contact you and they'll give you all your pertinent information, server address, username to log in, and password, as well as they'll send you the CCM application called CE Labs Player. The way you load that player software onto the media player is you highlight your media player in QuickSign Pro Designer 7X. You go to the Maintenance tab, you open up Load Application. Once here, you will browse to CE Labs Player 700, and the version may be different by the time you get yours, and open it. At this point, you want to load application to the player, and it will load the application to the player. Once it's through loading the application to the player will reboot. After the player is finished rebooting, we'll want to go back to this screen and get player current XApp version and make sure that that XApp has loaded to the player. Alright, with the magic of video, it's been about 45 seconds. Our player has turned back green. It's now red. We'll highlight that player. We'll go back to the Maintenance tab, back to the Load Application, get player current XApp version, and we'll see that it did get a version of CE Labs Player 700 version 132. So we do know that it has loaded and that we are ready to set the player up on CCM Enterprise. The next thing that we want to do before we leave is we want to get this IP address, which is located on the player status page. And we'll want to write this down because we're going to want to connect to this address in a browser so we can actually set the call home address, the CCM server address. Once you've completed loading your X application in QuickSign Pro Designer, the next step will be to open a browser and input the IP address of your player. That's the one that we copied down from QuickSign Pro Designer. A screen like this should come up, and in the top blank, which is the Content Manager address, we'll put in our server address to our CCM Enterprise server. In this case, it would be http://www.celabs-ccm4.net/Mike. At this point, we'll want to save our settings, and when we save it, it will initiate a call in to the server. Here we are logged into our Content Manager on CCM Enterprise, and I've gone to the Monitor tab. And as you can see, it's blank right now. I have told the player to call in, so if I simply update this screen, I should see my player. There is my player, just called in. The last thing we need to do to truly add this player to CCM Enterprise is click on the Add button to add the player that we found in the Monitor page to CCM. Here we'll want to give the player a name, so let's call it MP700 just for something quick, and do an OK. And now we can see the player has a name in this page. Then we go back over to the Monitor page and we can see that it has MP700 there as well. If I go to the details, I can see all the details about this player. And I can see that it last checked in, time, and I can see the player ID. Nothing else has been done to this player. It's not been assigned any content. It's not been assigned a group. And those I'm going to leave for another video. So at this point, your player is connected to CCM and is ready for you to set it up. As always, we here at CE Labs appreciate your business, and we hope you enjoy our quick tech tips. If you have any questions or concerns, please give customer service a call at 800-767-6189. Thank you.